So now this is like a huge throwback. This is the constant of proportionality, and some parts of the interim are going to have review from Unit 1. So, what are we going to do? Well, number 8 says find the constant of proportionality. Now, guys, remember the constant of proportionality is y over x. Let's just remind ourselves this has been a while since we did this. Okay, and it's telling you that the constant of proportionality is being represented this time by r. Usually we did k equals y over x, and so they're just saying that instead of k, it's going to be r equals y over x, and this is the constant, right? So you have to find the constant proportionality from this graph, and it says enter an equation in the form of G equals RM that represents the relationship between gems and mines. So what is the equation? Okay, so remember that the equation was y equals kx. And for this one, it's saying to do G equals RM instead. So we have to figure out, well, what is R? What's the constant of proportionality? So how did we do this before? Let's just like go back to memory lane. What we have to do is we have to find a point on the line, because this is my x-axis and that's my y-axis. So remember, it's y over x. That's the constant of proportionality. And so it's asking me like, well, basically, it's what's the distance between the points. So how do I find out what's y over x? Well, we have to find a point on the line to get my y and to get my x. So remember that a point on the line is literally where it hits the corners of the square. None of these are hitting the corners of the square except for right here, which means that is my point. That is the point that I need to use. So what is this point? This point is, oops, and remember when we write our points, it's x comma y. Okay, so my point is we have 5 for x and 20 for y. Okay, so I'm going to write that 5 for x and 20 for y. Okay, so this right here is the point on the line, 5 comma 20. So, but I'm not done. I have to find the constant proportionality and then write it as the equation. So if 5 is x and y is 20, we already said that the constant is y over x. So the constant is now r instead of k. So we said that the constant is y over x, which is 20 over 5, because 20 is y, right? And 5 is x. And 20 divided by 5 is 4, which means the constant is 4. So that's the first thing, right? Because it first asked what's the constant proportionality. I found a point on the line and I found the constant. Okay, cool. Now we have to find the equation. Well, the equation should be really simple because it's telling me to do it in the form of G equals Rm, and I just found out what R is. R is 4. The constant is 4. So all you have to do is plug in 4 for R. So instead of writing R, I'm going to put G equals 4m. And so that's my equation. So what it's saying is if I want to figure out what G is, I have to multiply 4 by whatever value M is to find G. That's what it's saying here. So when we type this up, what I want you to do is type like this. G equals 4M. That's, or you're going to get this little like note right here, wrong answer. So make sure to type G equals 4M, just like that. Okay, so for number 9, it is literally almost the same thing. So watching this video will help, but just so you know, remember that it's the same equation, G equals Rm, and we have to find a point on the line. So if we look right here, there's 1 point and there's 2 points. So you could choose whichever point you want, because both of these are hitting the corners of the square, right? So you could use whatever point you want in order to find the constant. So here you have 2, 10, and this is 4, 20. So you could choose whichever point, and then you are going to follow these steps. So once you have your point, you find the constant, right? Y over x, and then plug in the constant into the equation G equals Rm. And if you need questions, just let me know, but good luck.